The question I have is on sustainability. How core is that responsibility for today's CFO and how it will be? And will ESG become a very, very core component for finance leaders? That's what I want to understand.
I think a lot of in the Western world, I think a lot of impact investors community think about sustainability as an idea, and especially when they think about investing. I got a round of funding done from Blackstone, and Blackstone is very, very particular about the kind of ESG norms for there, etc. So a lot of times this is investor led. I don't think India is yet very evolved in terms of how to think about own it kind of thing. And the space is evolving. I think it will take a lot of accounting standards are not there, how to kind of report on ESG, etc. There are SEBI's kind of regulating it. But I think the people who are you are in that space, so maybe originally you can talk about it.
I think it is evolving. There's a lot of opportunity sitting there. Since one of your KRA as a CFO is raising funds, so as you rightly mentioned, the impact investors are around. If your company and if you can measure the metrics, you can get them audited, you can get them certified. If you adopt them day to day, money raising, the cost of funding, and probably if you have seen some reports, maybe not in 2 to 3 years, in 10 years, the companies with ESG filter have always outperformed the general index. So yes, ESG is becoming more and more on your day-to-day job as a CFO.
One is sustainability as a product in an FMCG kind of a space is not, it's not one of the core propositions. Sustainability can be a part, but then the FMCG from a product standpoint has to deliver on its own merit. So, we have tend to go overboard on the whole FMCG product sustainability kind of thing. From a process standpoint, absolutely. I think that will continue to kind of play how you run your operations, what you continue to kind of do. That will continue to get far more mainstream. I think the difference where we are seeing the pressure from in sustainability, for example, all our industrial customers in Europe and the US, they want us to be able to kind of demonstrate what kind of sustainability practices which we fundamentally have. So that's the big driver from companies in India.
So, I think we as a fund have a philosophy on what we call as value of good, which is ESG is one part of it. So what we have tried to do, because we invest in consumer companies, and I think this is by design more carbon generating companies. So we have kind of broken the whole philosophy of ESG or value of good, as we call it, into two parts, where there's a planet part and there's a people, process, governance part. The planet part is a tougher one, where not all companies have, like we have invested in a fashion company, which is fast fashion, which is technically a very high carbon footprint generating company. So the view, at least in the context of India, is really nuanced, that it's unfair to put a cost of sustainability today at a time when we are growing, versus Europe and US, which is kind of, destroyed the world with leather and all of that. But I think we see Indian companies far more responsible. Not because of investors or anything else. I think that's the positive part. We are seeing founders who are saying, look, let me try my best to the extent, I can and is possible. For example, can I use, plastic, which is, recyclable, biodegradable, only if I can have the brand also enhanced by it, right? Can I be more friendly with people practices? Can I be more transparent with supplier practices? I think one of the things learning from the Walmart Flipkart transaction was that Walmart, of course, is a very SEC driven, SEC led company, and FCPA rules requires a lot of supplier transparency, which suppliers of Flipkart, Myntra, etc. didn't have, and we had to change it overnight. So those are some of the good things which, if we are seeing early stage companies start to do. So there is a awareness with knowing that some things are possible, some things are not possible. So as a fund, what we do is we create a roadmap of creating. We are not even saying it is ESG because we are an investor. Not that our LPs are not asking that from us. Right? We are doing it our own, saying, can we create a roadmap of responsible practices? Can you build responsible businesses? What it means for each company is very different, right? But have that as a core philosophy. Otherwise, very soon there could be a time where some regulation may come, or the Gen Zs today are asking that. the consumer of tomorrow is going to ask for you. And if you have to be relevant for a longer period of time, if you don't start thinking of this today, you may soon get disrupted. So I think a little bit counterpoint to Raghav is that maybe the Gen Z consumer may say that, hey, is Unilever or Wipro the right company for me to buy? Because they may ask that question, and they will surely ask that question.
What opportunity do they have in consulting for climate, ESG?
I think Satya mentioned that 20 years back, Big Fours, they had engineers and other technical experts as part of their internal audit teams. And that is what we really CFOs need to look. We as Kirtan and Pandit chartered accountants, traditional chartered accountants, but yes, we are having Kirtan and Pandit consulting, where we are onboarding other experts, which is otherwise not allowed in our CA firms to take them as the stakeholders. So when all the technical experts are there and all the synergies they are coming together, we as a firm, originally formed as a firm of chartered accountants, we can do much better in this particular space. That is the reason our recent addition in our KP group is KP Climate Consulting, where all the leaders, they are non-charters. It is part of our group, but all the leaders, they are non-charters. And that is where we all as a chartered accountant should look at. One side of the coin, which we discussed about half an hour, that chartered accountants can be good CEOs. This is the extension. If you have got the opportunity, you know how the consulting is to be done. Then onboard good technocrats, good experts who are not from your field, they are experts in their respective fields. Bring all synergies together and yes, get into that consulting. Most importantly, all of us, whether in industry or in practice, we are always connected to the top management. And it is easier for us to get into that particular mode to convince and talk to them and make them understand the need of this ESG implementation. It is good for us. This is the starting point, and well, if we have to see our next generation is doing good, it is necessary for all of us that we get into this ESG stuff. There will be a lot of hiccups, there will be a lot of learnings, there will be a lot of improvements.
I think you should look for BRSR reporting, look at SEBI. There is an assurance side of the sustainability. There's a rating side of it. It's a developing area, like what Dipanjan said. You've got to pick a sector. If ESG is a sector you want to go from a career point of view, there is a lot of stuff that will involve in that.